Welcome to the next in the series of videos about compiling your code with batch files. What we're going to do today is after we compile the code, we're just going to run it in the batch file so we can immediately see our changes. And at first it will seem simple, but there are some gotchas that you need to be aware of. Let's get into it. Yeah, so what I would like to do now is that after I compile the code, I'd just like to run it so that I see that it worked. And since we're already in the bin folder, we can just say o3 main.exe and that will run. So we'll give this a run, and it worked. Let's change this, really hello world, and we'll run it again. And it says, really hello world. Okay, so it's working. What can go wrong with this, you might ask? Well, what if we give it an error? So now it won't compile, right? We changed it back to hello world, and then we put an error, and let's compile. It compiles and it has an error and then it runs it. That's not what we want. And it runs the old one that says really hello instead of the new one where we just changed to hello. What we need to do is check to see if compile actually worked. The way you can do this is with an if statement in the batch file. You say if, here you put expression, and then in parentheses is the code you would run. How do we know if it compiled? So we're going to check a variable called error level. Error level percent if is equal to 0, which means no error. Then we will run this. And then we can copy and paste this down here and say if it's not equal to 0, then we have an error, and we can just say echo, what do we put? Error compiling code. Okay, so what will this do? We'll run the compiler, and then we'll check the error level. If it's 0, we run the code, and if it isn't, we have an error. So now we have, so let's run it again. Error compiling code. That's much better. Let's go back. Let's undo this error. So now everything should work. If we go back and run it again, boom, hello from 3 instead of very hello world or really hello world or whatever the heck it was. This has really bit me in the butt before when it was doing exactly what I was showing you, where there was an error, but then it ran the whatever code it had compiled that was good, which was many versions ago, and I didn't notice. So that was a pretty quick one. We have a way to find out if the compiler was successful or there was an error. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, happy coding. Stay curious.